Recently, I was here to tell you that the Dangote's refinery, Dangote itself, was planning to play a monopolistic role in the oil sector because of his refinery that is currently on stream. Many lambasted me, claiming that we should patronize homemade products to boost our local economy. Of course, you guys were right. But how can a product that is imported be cheaper than that which is locally produced? Is that rational in all ramification?
Mr. Bilis Harry. He joins us from Abuja studios. Mr. Harry, thank you so much for coming on the program, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having us.
We're going to unpack this issue, but let's start broadly because we've had this conversation time and again, and we're going to take excerpt. My producer will put up the full statement of PETROAN, led by you, who is the president of PETROAN, and then we'll look at some of the excerpts of the statement. When I read the statement last night, I was like, oh dear, all gloves are literally off. Is that where we are right now, Mr. Harry?
No, there's no gloves that is off. It's just Petron, amongst other stakeholders that are very patriotic and willing to serve Nigerians in the best way, will not at any point in time be denigrated. We have never removed our gloves. Dangote is one of us. We love the fact that he has made this kind of sacrifice and made this investment in Nigeria. We are very proud of him. However, after the pride, we need to get into business. And what we are surprised to see is that we seem to be doing business only on airwaves, and that's not the way this business is done. We have an NNPC that has been dealing with us for years, and through PPMC, then now NNPC Retail. And there are very simple procedures on how to make this business to work. And that is where we are. So we actually are letting the true information be on in the public palace, and then everybody can sit back and then say, okay, this is what we want to do. We want to patronize Dangote Refinery. We have no reason not to patronize them, but we have to also let the system know that there are different players in the industry, and all of us have a role to play. And while we are all about doing that, we must focus on the Nigerian and ensure that the Nigerians don't suffer for anything. So no gloves are off. It's just a simple clarification.
The reason I said gloves are off, I'm going to be taking you on some of the things that were said, things that they sounded like nuances, but they are allegations literally from PETROAN. From your statement, my producer can put that up. You said in that statement, the publication by Dangote Refinery that PETROAN will import substandard petroleum product is not coming as a surprise to stakeholders, because such is the usual gimmick for maintaining monopoly. That's one part of your statement. I'm trying to go to the next one. The allegation that PETROAN will import inferior products and saying that an international company is trying to establish a PMS blending plant in Lagos are all strategies for Dangote Refinery to push others out of the market in view of achieving monopoly for exploitation. Those are strong words. And you say gloves are not off?
Well, I don't see that as gloves off. It's just making sure that there are clarifications made, because we have never engaged in anything illegal, and we will not allow anybody to accuse PETROAN. It's a very noble organization that has grown over the years, and we are serving Nigerians with all of our heart. We make sure that our members obey the laws of the land, and so we cannot at any time be involved in selling product that is substandard or import substandard products. So those are simple clarifications that needed to be in the public parlance.
Let's assume, without conceding, that Dangote Refinery indeed has a point. And during that big launch of the refinery, when it was now set to begin dispensing product, of course, pressmen embarked on a tour along with officials of the House of Representatives, and we saw the testing, we saw the presentation of the product, and we saw that in a clear departure from what we have been seeing in the country, a very clear product, almost transparent. But what we see, what we have seen in time past and even now is somewhat yellow-colored petrol. And of course, the refinery has made us to understand that that quality of product is not good for the vehicles in Nigeria, and that is what is responsible, for the wear and tear of our vehicles not standing the test of time. So what would you say to this seeming evidence that the refinery put out as against the kind of product that we're used to buying in the country, which has predominantly been imported?
Well, our big brother, Dangote Refinery, has done a great job in establishing this refinery, like we've said, for the opt-in time. The product that so far has come out of there, to our knowledge, it's only NNPC that can testify to its quality. Other than what you and I see in the media, I have not used Dangote Refinery's product, so I'm completely unable to make any comparisons. However, we have suffered product adulterations in the past out of certain miscalculations, by those who have brought in product. But in the last few months, I believe that the eagle eyes of NMDPRA are watching everybody very keenly and carefully, and ensuring that products of the right quality are introduced into Nigeria. And that is what we're using. I can tell you that in the last 3 months, none of my members have been arrested by police or by army or by anybody for adulterated products from the retail outlets, because we are now in a regime where the products are properly scrutinized by NMDPRA, not just only the quality, but also the quantity. Weight and measures, the referral ministry is also working on the quantity. And so I can only talk about what I practically know. And what I know is the one that NNPC has been giving to us. So it would be good if the product coming from the Dangote refinery are clearly defined, so we can see the differences. But we encourage and we are happy with the high quality that is advised and advanced to us. However, let us start business. Let's start putting the product in the cars of Nigerians and work towards affordability.
Mr.
That is where I
Gilisari,
think we are now. So this back and forth is not what we want.
Mr. Gilisari, let me ask that question in a direct way. The product, the quality of PMS put out by Dangote Refinery that we saw, during that grand launch, as against what we're used to buying in Nigeria, which is more superior? Which is superior?
Have you used the product from Dangote Refinery?
I'd rather you answer that question.
Can you tell which product has come out from Dangote Refinery in comparison to any other? It's only when we know that we can make the comparison.
If you had an option to purchase for your vehicle as a professional in that sector, which would you purchase, Mr. Gilisari?
I will purchase the best. I'll purchase the best.
And which would
the best
be the
has
best?
to be available for me.
Which would be the best?
Right. At this time, we're only looking at
colored product and one that comes with color. Which one would you purchase?
Water is clearer than all of the ones you have talked about. So will you use water?
We're not talking about water.
So
I understand that this may be yet again a product, a fallout of the price war between marketers and Dangote Refinery. But I'd like to go to your statement, Mr. Gilisari. You say that PETROAN has concluded plans with her foreign refinery counterparts and financial partners to import the best quality of PMS and then sell far lesser than the present selling rate of PMS in Nigeria. But I recall very clearly times on this platform that we had asked you to tell us what would be the appropriate price of PMS, particularly with reports that the landing cost of petrol had come down. But you were not non-committal to what an ideal pricing would be. How come your organization is committing to the possibility of now selling petrol far lesser than what is being sold in the country now?
Well, the situation is right now, PETROAN members' retail outlets are dry. So you need to understand exactly what's going on now. And I want the media to really be asking the appropriate questions and get the appropriate people to make the responses. Most retail outlets today don't have product. We are dependent on NNPC to give us product. And anytime there is no product coming from them into our retail outlets, we stay home and dry. And that is a difficult situation for both Nigerians and us, the businessmen. We want to serve, and we want to serve well. Now, what is the reason why we are looking for alternatives? We are looking to work with Alhaji Dangote's refinery. We are not getting any clarifications or any directions or any any green lights as to how that can happen. We are working with NNPC. NNPC supply challenges from time to time, also debars us from working. We've entered into a fully deregulated economy for the downstream. And so PETROAN, we have the number. We have the retail outlets that is easy to take off about 40,000 metric tons of product per month. And that will not even be sufficient. So we have had to start to make negotiations with different partners. The challenge being that we do not have access to Forex. And so we are negotiating on different alternatives of how to think out of the box and use other ways to be able to make payments. For instance, looking for exportable products that can now be exchanged, for our products. And if we do that, there is no reason why we shouldn't sell more, because we shouldn't sell less, far less actually, because we know that the cost of money is a major component in the pricing dynamics. And if we can, get products at a cheaper price with the right quality, and don't forget the NMDPR will not allow you to import any product that they do not have specification approvals. So all that has to be done. And once it is done, and we can negotiate to bring products down, and which we are being offered. Right now we are being offered products at a much affordable rate for us. The only challenge we have is just how to access Forex.
You're not answering my question. What has changed between the time that you were negotiating with Dangote Refinery and now? How come your organization is now committing to being able to sell petrol far lesser than what is being sold at home? Prior to this time, you didn't commit to what should be the ideal pricing of petrol, particularly because it comes as a surprise to Nigerians that Dangote, a homegrown refinery, is selling petrol at a very high rate. So what has changed?
Well, I can tell you, without any out of doubt, that petroleum product pricing is dynamic, and it will be foolhardy for me, with the level of experience I have, to give you any specific price. I can only, at all times, look within a bandwidth of what the pricing will be, because a lot of things can change. A lot of things can change. And that is why I will not at any time commit to any particular pricing until the product has landed. When the product has landed in our depots and we are already loading, then it's very easy for me to say, look, members, this product we have all bought, we've gotten at this price. And we do that even with NNPC. When we get product at NNPC retail for a certain price, and we see that some of our members want to sell at a higher price, we call their attention and let them know that we know where you bought the product and this is how much you bought it. So that kind of service is what we will always do to make sure that the prices are competitive. So as far as the far lesser could, if today fuel sells for even as less as 2 naira from PETROAN, it will be far lesser because it will add up. So what has changed, and to answer you specifically, is that right now we are desperately looking to make sure our business works and we serve Nigerians. PMS critically is going to become a major concern for every Nigerian. And if PETROAN can help in bringing the challenge down by sourcing for products in different areas, and we did say that we are ready to buy from Dangote Refinery, we are ready to buy from NNPC Retail, we are ready to buy from DAPMAN and MOMAN members, we are also ready to import where we have the opportunity to do so. And we're actually taking steps to make those work. So it's simple. Which option is open for us to have product today is what we'll deal with. If eventually we start importing products and then bring products in, we will endeavor to make sure that we bring high quality and we focus on price affordability for Nigerians. So that is what is changing. What is changing is determination to serve Nigerians. What is changing is value that we have for the Nigerian economy to grow. That's what is changing.
All right, Mr. Harry, what I hear in terms of nuances is it appears, look, it looks like it's an existential threat to the entire ecosystem. It looks like we won't allow this monopoly. And I think it's also a fair argument to say for us to have that energy security, there has to be multiple suppliers. It's also a fair argument. But what Nigerians are confused and concerned about, confusion and concerned about is first, Nigerians want to buy more affordable PMS. Nigerians want to buy more affordable PMS. They want to buy more affordable fuel. But Nigerians want to also understand how come that if you import, your PMS will be cheaper than what Dangote is selling. At least now we know that Dangote is selling 960 to those that are the ships and those that are trucking for 990. So explain to Nigerians how what you bring in will eventually be cheaper in the market when you add all your margin and all your administrative costs than what Dangote is selling that is just within the neighborhood right here around Lekki.
We are willing to buy Dangote's product at whatever price that we find comfortable for us. We want to patronize Dangote Refinery. And I want you to get this correct. Dangote has not opened the door for PETROAN to work with him. If he does that, then we will have the basis of comparison for anything. Right now, everything that is in the news space is projections and speculations. And don't forget that even if we have to buy product at Dangote Refinery for 990, that does not translate to landing the product in our retail outlets. There are still additional charges, additional logistics, additional charges that will come on board. So these are not things we can discuss over the news media and then to make transactions over televisions or radio or TV or newspapers. We need to sit down as businessmen and look at what we... Yes, it's a business. Aliko Dangote's business is a machine that we know that is very respectable and valuable. And we also, in our own little way, contribute to the ecosystem. So we just need to make sure that we are all on the same page, and monopoly by any standard is not advanced, it's not advised, and it's not in any way going to play. Everybody must do what they have to do. Let the refiners refine. Let the depot owners maintain their depot efficiency. Let retail outlet owners and marketers do their own business and make sure that everybody in the system is taking something home to their families, and Nigeria is growing the better, because that's how we are all going to be paying taxes. That's how we are going to be encouraging the next small business to start. Right. So that's where we're going to. So when you are talking about the pricing and why you think that our product will be, what about if we have a refinery, owner that's looking at the opportunity of 200 million plus people in Nigeria and aiming just only to serve just only 15% of that population, and PETROAN is providing the requisite, basis on which that investment can be attracted. Will that not be a better reason why there will be transparency and why products can be sold cheaper? It's not just importation. PETROAN, first of all, is not so much in support of importation. And even when we engage in importation, it will be temporary. We are the ones that have been on the road shouting for state of emergency to be declared on all the refineries, because we have computed that refined products in country will eliminate so many costs associated with...
My apologies, Mr. Harry.
Any kind of product.
If I'm a butt in here, although I don't think you answered my question exactly, maybe the comparison is not quite clear, but I'll read part of your statement, and I'm reading the statement to find out exactly what you are proposing that Dangote should do when you sit on that table. And I'm wondering why he hasn't opened the door, if there's an explanation to that effect, because he said he has not opened up for you to work together. I say, a nation that gave you yet to be disclosed concession for foreign exchange, which was highly criticized by financial experts. Such a country pricing template shouldn't have been templated by selling rate at an international market, but rather it should have been cost of production plus margin. Those were your words in that statement. So perhaps what I get from there is that, look, the country helped you. Why don't you help and be patriotic at the end of the day? Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. So what exactly are you proposing to Dangote to say, look,
you have already answered the question you're asking.
Okay.
You have answered the question you're asking. But what we are proposing is, look, the product is there. We have 500 million liters plus there lying down. There is a reason for that product to be shipped out and sold, so there's space for other businesses to take place. What do we need to do? Look, gentlemen, this is my offer. This is what we want to do. Gentlemen and ladies, these are the prices we have. This is the modality. This is when you pay. This is how you pay. This is when you load. This is how... All of those nitty-gritties have to be tidied. And that's all. Once we get that settled, and we say, okay, this is what we're going... We will tell Nigerians that this is what our pricing template is, and this is what our margins will be. PETROAN has never hidden the fact that we need to talk about pricing very transparently. The reason why we do that is because we are the last mile. We are the most critical last mile in the value chain of distribution. We are the ones that easily get, battered by the high and mighty. Oh, they bought product from us. The product is this, all of that. So we are careful. We have learnt the rope to make sure that our members sell product that is of high quality. Their meters are measuring accurately, and then we make our little margin and take care of our wives and our husbands and our children, and even encourage the Nigerian economy by paying our staff timely. So this is all there is to it. There is nothing too difficult to be able to explain. What we need, and we have written for this meeting, we've written since 2022. So it's not even now, okay? And that meeting needs to be, yes, we're invited for the commissioning. Commissioning is not a place for business, okay? So we needed to sit down and discuss. This is the time. We have even requested, look, let the end users have access to even visit your refinery and do a tour. We have not been given that kind of a so, and which for me, it's a little bit strange, because if I have a refinery of that magnitude, I'll be happy to open it up to all Nigerians. But provided that security values are taken care of and not compromised.
Well, you know,
so this is just all we need, just the nitty-gritties of the business, and then we get into business.
You know, Mr. Gilizari, there is still no clarity in spite of how much time we have committed to this conversation, because DAPMAN also put out a statement debunking the allegation of importing substandard fuel. In fact, Pinnacle Oil and Gas also put out a statement denying the allegation that it set up a plant to blend substandard fuel somewhere near Dangote refinery. And your statement also comes through as well. So should we assume, and I want you to do this in about 60 seconds if you can, should we assume that the talks between Ipman on the one hand, major marketers, PETROAN, your organization, and Dangote have failed to sail through or make any headway so far. And NNPC retains this problematic monopoly that you have long complained about. Hence, petrol importation will continue.
Well, I don't think the conclusion in 60 seconds is far from it. One, NNPC has not in any way told us that they want to control the monopoly again. At least in the last 3 months, it's clear to all of us that we can all do business as freely as we can. The stakeholders are still willing, and if you look at our press statement, we also still asked, you know, for Mr. President to call a roundtable so that we can discuss this in just 3 hours maximum and then end the conversation. The conversation is simple. There's a refinery, you are refining. Give product to depot owners. Let depot owners be able to sell. We, retail outlet owners and the marketers, we have our access. Of course, we can buy directly from Dangote. Why not? We have our off-taker license. So let me just say this now. Some of us already have our off-taker license to off-take from Dangote refinery. And we have completed it. We have gone through the process of registering even there. And yet we don't have any answers. So we will keep pushing the button and encourage Dangote to open up. Let us sit down and discuss. And then hopefully by close of today or tomorrow, we should be able to hear that roundtable meeting, and then we take the business on from there. We want Dangote's refinery to be very successful.
All right.
And we also want to be successful in our own little way.
All right.
So that's where we're headed.
Mr. Gillis Harry, at the end of the day, we wish that this back and forth will come to an end. I'm happy you said you already have the license, off-taking license, but we don't know why both parties are now sitting on the table. But we hope both parties will sit together and will avoid monopoly. And for me, a Nigerian, I want to buy cheaper petrol, PMS, at the end of the day. Mr. Billis Gillis Harris is the president of the Petroleum Product Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, PETROAN. We must thank you for always coming through whenever we call on you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
How can you explain to your children? How can you explain to your audience? How can you explain to your fellow countrymen that a product that was locally produced is more expensive than a product that is being imported into the country? Now Dangote has revealed the price with which he is selling his fuel. Nobody's envying Dangote refinery. The same pattern he used with Smith is the same pattern he is trying to use with these fuel products. You understand? So we cannot see this abnormality and keep our mouth shut. It is not done anywhere. How can the locally produced products be more expensive than imported one? Allow the marketers who feel that importation will be better for them to import. Nobody should be compared to patronize Dangote. It should be a free market. Of course, that is why it has been deregulated. You understand?